Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 6 viewers made levels, so in this part, I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more viewers made levels, starting out with this one. Rubbish Man by Crono Mn, with 17 plays and a score of 2. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. From what the level author told me, this was kind of an experimental stage where they experimented with some gimmicks. But I suppose this stage takes place on a landfill, based on the fact we have all these junk blocks and all the gimmicks buried in the dirt. Time to enter the landfill's facility. Here we're being introduced to Subiels, as well as the spikes. These types of jumps. I knew that was gonna happen sometime. I'm always super worried about these jumps, especially because of the collision detection, or rather the fact of how big the spike hitboxes are in this engine. Oh well, at least only a few screens away. Not off to the best start though. And there we go, I made it past that segment. Now I just need to climb upwards through this shaft filled with all these footholders. Again, this stage's micro-stuttering isn't helping matters. At least there's a checkpoint right over here, thank you very much. So I guess this is the part of the landfill filled with all of these footholders. It's quite thematically appropriate to utilize a landfill or dump as a test bed for all of these gimmicks. Give credit where credit is due. So we're basically riding on top of these footholders finding picados. And somehow I didn't end up dying over there. Now we have spikes. And Thunderall is trying to shunt us into the spikes. Oh yeah, we have to backtrack here. If we get knocked into spikes, are we doomed? Can we jump back onto the footholders? I don't want to find out here. Well, that's one key down. Please extend the platform one square to the right. This is one of those stages where you need to pay careful attention so you don't end up falling into pits or spikes. AKA slow and steady wins the race. Now I just need to be careful not to get carried into spikes by the footholders. I do like how Crono Mn is varying up the challenges. But now I need to backtrack a little bit in order to get something. An E-tank, which I'll gladly take. Thank you for the advance forewarning of where these spikes will be. After all, I need to climb downwards in order to access that key. And it's going to be one of these segments. It's going to be especially worrisome on the way back up. And in fact, I'm going to stand right over here until those footholders come back. Essentially, our way down is going to be a lot easier than on our way back up. But on our way down, we have to worry about all these missile fish, though. And that's it. Oh, force beams. I just noticed something. That ladder to the left leads to somewhere. Yeah, it does. In fact, it leads to a checkpoint, which I will hit over here and then check to the right. In fact, I think this was just an optional pathway for the elect beam, which I will go for, by the way. I just need to be quick on my feet because of the red force beams there. Oh, it says I have 9 seconds. And I wasn't quick enough. Good thing I hit a checkpoint over here, so now I don't need to go back down for that key. Or rather, I don't need to re-unlock this door to the right, because I hit the checkpoint after opening it. Very lucky there as well. But at last I gained access to the elect beam. That's probably going to be this boss's weakness. Sadly, because I hit the checkpoint beforehand, it won't save the elect beam. So I need to keep it for the remainder of the stage or until I get access to another checkpoint. That previous part of the stage was definitely a difficulty spike, but I won't mind it too much because there's an optional route. Both the footholder ladder going downwards as well as the red force beam race. And I see we're combining usage of the gyres and conveyor belts here, which is of course gonna lag the stage. Oh goody, now there's even a hot dog here. This stage is quickly getting a lot more difficult, for a stage is focused on a different set of gimmicks and ideas. Specifically, a various set of ideas. I guess we're near the end now. That could have gone sour really fast. Probably shouldn't do that again. Oh, never mind, we're supposed to drop down over here. I guess we're digging deeper into this dump. Thank you very much for putting a checkpoint here. And we fight Ringman over here. Did I miss a special weapon though? I think I missed one. Yeah, I missed a special weapon somewhere. At least I have Ringman's weakness. Overall, this was a neat stage. The gimmicks were quite utilized pretty well and explored in various fashions. The gimmick introduction wasn't the best, but I suppose this was a fortress stage overall anyway. And none of the challenges felt rather repetitive, so good work, Crono Mn. Second level on the lineup is Star Wars by Leezy, with 11 plays and a score of -2. And it appears that this will be a rush-centric stage. And I spy those 2 spikes on top of that left block there. You aren't fooling me, Leezy. Same over here on the right. Just in case, I'll right on top of Rush Jet to the right. And I had some reason to be worried because there was a spike just over there. So let's kill off these Skeleton Joes first. Phew, I made it over there, especially considering there were some spikes on the left. And there was actually spikes over there, which I thought was part of the background. Well, at least I can damage with through these Skeleton Joes here. Better to be safe than sorry after all. Oh, it just leads over here. I thought I was gonna fall into a bottomless pit or something. At least the checkpoint placements of this stage are fair. Well, I didn't expect the Yoko blocks to spawn in that quickly, and I didn't realize that you can spawn rush on top of the flip platforms. There we go, and now we face Sparkman in this crowded room. Yeah, I need to try this again. At least I have a full life refill over there, but still, it's gonna be a bit difficult. Alright, I did it. After 5-6 deaths off screen, I did it. Not to mention 5 failures off screen before this room. There were a lot of engine related issues I encountered during this boss fight. Mainly dropped button inputs because of course it's a Mega Man Maker. And that also really destroyed my fun with this stage, along with the various issues with this boss arena being cramped and taking force damage in some locations. So honestly, I'll have to give this stage a thumbs down. Third level on the lineup is Viagem, Espacial, Parte 3, Marte by Lipatio 2, with 15 plays and a score of 4. This translates to English as Space Travel Part 3, Mars. The last space travel stage I played through was okay, but it got rather difficult near the end, what with some spike jumps as well as racing towards a footholder. As usual, we start out in the space station, and we ride on top of the spinning top over to the planet. This time we have infinite special weapon usage of the Surf Snake. And thank you for the intro message. And because Mars the red planet, we have a red background as well as a brown tile set. I have one suggestion though. Please put a checkpoint just before entering the planet so we don't need to repeat that opening crawl. Oh, I see. This is illustrating the fact that the quick boomerang can just one-shot these big fish enemies. I forgot that the quick boomerang could do that. That's gonna be super helpful in some parts of the stage. I'm sure of it. Also, thank you for the large life energy there. There's some issue with the background scrolling there, as you can see with the abrupt transition with the mountain. wait. That's how I'm supposed to do it. There is probably an E-tank to the right, so I'm gonna go for it. No, apparently not. I guess going to the right is if you just want to use the Surge Snake, because you can angle it down there. If not, you can go faster by taking the first gap and using the Hyper Bomb. That's an interesting alien shape. I see what I need to do over here. Well, this works too. I just need to lure it down over here and then I can just jump on top of it. And now we're being introduced to the Sparkman platforms. And up we go. Oh gosh, the strong contrast between the red background and the ice is getting a little bit eye-blaring for me. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen somewhere. You may want to fix the contrast here because it's rather eye-blaring. And it makes it hard to determine where some of the enemies are. Simply put, there's too many distractions. Thank you graciously for putting a checkpoint after that hectic segment. In fact, I'll do a quick reset over here just to be safe. Okay, now we need to rise on top of this Cossack platform, while this shooting gallery of Crystal Joes tries to gun us down, as well as a literal shooting gallery with the Coltons, and now the Ben Ks with their spears. At least I think those are spears. This is slightly better, but still, it's a bit eye-blaring. If the background's red wasn't so distinct, it'd be fine. And now we're inside this facility, thank goodness. A lot less distracting on the eyes. Rather simple though. Again, thank you for the checkpoint over here. That awfully looks like a pathway leading to the left. But in order to get there, I need to lure an enemy to the left in order to just jump on top of it. And I see how. It isn't an optional pad, it's a mandatory pad actually. I presume I need to do it from the other side. Oh, that's how. Good. Well, that was easy. A lot easier than what I expected. We're having a whole bunch of these Yoku Block plus Sword Snake guiding rooms, it seems. I like them, they're unique. And now we have spikes. Okay, this room looked a lot more difficult than what it actually was. In fact, that Peter Chi just walked off screen over there to the right. Is this an optional pathway? Probably not. Oops, I see. Never mind, by going off screen I was able to respawn it without the block. I'm not sure if that was intended, but I need to keep that Peter Chi on screen. Thank you for the checkpoint, good placement. A bit farther than the last one, but this challenge isn't too difficult. And here to face Cutman we need to use a fair shot. Otherwise we cannot hit him unless we use stuff like the Hyper Bomb, I guess. And there's a whole bunch of large weapon capsules back in the previous room, so even if you run out, you can always just do a quick checkpoint reset and you'll be back up to full. Overall, a neat fortress stage, I presume. Fortress / special weapons oriented stage. I like the second half more than the first half, but gosh, the first half, especially near the end, where you had the eye-blaring contrast between the bluish-white foreground tiles and the reddish background, that was hard on the eyes and made that hectic segment even more problematic. fourth and final level to part is Troubling Tower by OfficialMemeGuy, with 6 plays and a score of 0. And it seems that this stage is going to be at least 30 screens long. We start with the air shooter, needle cannon, and time slow, though we will gain access to the firestorm eventually. For this stage, it appears that we'll be climbing up and down a series of towers. Thank you graciously for the checkpoint over here. I could have made that segment easier if I used the time slow. Let me double check what's to the right because I think there's going to be a special collectible there. And that was a fail on my part. Be careful, because if you fall down one of these segments, you'll be taken to an earlier part of the stage, so it's better to quick reset if you're next to a checkpoint. Nope, there's nothing to the right over here. I was wrong. And now we're in space. Oh goody, more of these spike jumps. Just for safety, I'm gonna damage boost over here. Otherwise, that can happen. And I was holding up over there, but of course... At least it's next to a checkpoint, so it isn't too bad. One of the main dangers of the stage are all the killer bullets. The other danger are all the spikes, of course. And there's a firestorm, of course. You know what, I'm gonna ignore it and go to the upper portion and fight the boss. It's a lot less risky that way. I would have done an earlier segment if I had access to one large life energy, or I had more health in general. So I very likely do not have access to the boss's weakness, but I think I'll be able to manage otherwise. I mean, it's just fair, man. Who is immune against the Mega Buster? I want to see if you're weak against the needle cannon. Please jump up here. Nope, I'll do a quick reset and then fight the boss legitimately. It seems that my best option here is to use a combination of the time slow and air shooter. So let's do it. And because there is a infinite respawning weapon generator in the previous screen before the boss fight, I'm okay with the forced weapon usage here. So that was the end of Troubling Towers. A pretty neat fortress stage where we need to climb continuously upwards, although in a few places there was a risk to fall to an earlier part of the stage. And I did like how it did reward skill, because if you're more skilled, you can go through the stage much faster, but I wanted to play it safe, hence why I damage boosted. And that's also why I didn't go for the Firestorm over there. I really didn't want to die to either the enemies or the Red Force Beam over there. Honestly, I'd say this was my second favorite stage of this part, probably by honorable mention. Whereas my favorite level of the part would definitely be Rubbish Man by Crono Mn. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!